Have you ever had to deal with that guy while driving? You know that guy. He usually has an unbuttoned collared shirt, wears sunglasses, drives a really nice car, but is overall a really poor driver. The other day I was driving during the late day commute with very heavy traffic. Like a responsible driver, I made sure that I was in the correct lane several lights in advance to make sure that I could get on the highway and not have to barge in at the last second. After waiting something like 10 minutes to finally get on the highway, I was finally at the last light to get onto the highway. But that's when I saw it. I saw the blinking light from the nice Porsche next to me. It was that guy. After the green light changed, I let him merge in front of me. But he took so long to merge in front of me that the light had gone to red by the time he finished turning. So not only me, but those behind me weren't allowed to get through the light. I got so frustrated that I wondered why people like that existed. But then I took a step back and wondered, well, why do I react so poorly to those situations? Well, today we're going to explore those questions, and we're going to see how the answer is not only going to help you, but your influence on others and your business. So let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Taylor Klein, and I'm from Network Funding. Now today's video is part 2 in our series about the 25 cognitive biases as described by Charles Munger. Now, Charles Munger is the partner in crime to the one and only Warren Buffett. And if you want more information about that, be sure to watch our last video in the series. But before we get started, please be sure to leave a like on the video and leave a comment down in the comment section on your funniest story encountering that guy or that girl. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you found any of the information in this video helpful, please be sure to share it with your friends so they can see it as well. Anyways, we have 4 biases to cover today. So let's just jump right into it and see how that guy can really help you and your business. The first bias we're going to talk about today is known as the inconsistency avoidance tendency. This is the bias that we as humans don't really like to change. We like to stay consistent, and it's a very rare trait for someone to be willing to change. This is the result that us as humans, our brains actually have very limited processing power. So we rely on old knowledge to allow us to do more with our mental energy. So back to our example, both that guy and I had developed automatic negative responses instead of thinking about the situation. That guy has developed the response of seeing a line to enter the highway and thinking, I don't need to wait in that line, I want to save myself some time. I've developed the negative response that when I see someone merge over like that, I get very annoyed. But in reality, I don't actually know the situation of why that person merged. All I know is that they did, and that annoyed me greatly. For us as businessmen and women, we can use this to both our advantage and our disadvantage for several ways. When using this to our advantage, when we try to influence someone, if we can prove that our product or service, A, is already consistent with that person's life, or B, can help in keeping that person's life consistent, we are more likely to retain them as customers. To avoid this bias being a disadvantage, we need to make sure that we don't fall victim to the bias. We need to make sure that we don't become stagnant in our businesses, thinking that we have the best and only process for something. We must stay on the forefront of our fields. In essence, we must stay curious. Now, humans are naturally curious. In fact, this next tendency, the curiosity tendency, is that humans are naturally curious, and we will never stop being curious. For example, are you ever curious as to why that guy thinks he can merge over at the last second? Or are you ever curious on how to improve your business? This need to be curious is something that we must leverage in our businesses. First, we can leverage this in our marketing. Do you ever wonder why all my videos start with a question or with a story, or why a lot of videos do so? This is because questions and stories can pique someone's interest right off the get-go and keep them engaged in the video to stick around. Second, it can be our biggest competitive advantage. If we are always curious about our industries and always curious about what our clients want, we make sure we stay on the forefront and that people think of us when it comes to the product or service. And if we don't leverage this, our product or service will soon become obsolete as times change. Now, what else can we learn from the story of that guy? Well, is it fair that that guy got to skip the whole line and make everybody else wait? No. Will his life fair? No. The Canadian's fairness tendency discusses just that despite the knowledge that life is unfair, most of us humans can't accept that as it applies to ourselves. But we as humans should try to deal with a little unfairness to contribute to the overall fairness of everyone. This is a lesson that I learned from that guy. As unfair it was in the moment, perhaps me doing that will allow him to learn to do that with someone else in the future, overall extending the fairness of everyone. In business, this teaches us that although we may be experiencing something unfair in the moment, as long as we make sure we're doing the kind thing and the ethical thing, hopefully the fairness will come back around to us and create better business in the future. After learning the Canadian's fairness tendency, I had to ask myself, well, after experiencing something so minuscule in life, why did it let it affect me to the point of literally becoming the outline of this video? Well, despite being good content, this is where the envy-jealousy tendency comes in. This tendency comes from the need we all have as humans for scarce resources. Whether it's food, time, money, clothing, we all need scarce resources. Then, when we see these scarce resources in the possession of somebody else, we become envious or jealous that they have the scarce resource we need. So I was envious that that guy had taken the time away from me and my family that I considered to be scarce, even though it is only just 2 extra minutes. In our influencing of other people, this is something we can easily use to our advantage. If we can make our product or service seem like a desirable but scarce resource, we can effectively take advantage of people's need to acquire scarce resources. This is discussed a little bit more in my first cognitive bias video under the reward-punishment tendency, so be sure to check that out after this video. So what's the takeaway from this video? Well, the biggest thing is that we want to make sure that anything we do, we're taking a step back and seeing what influences us. And then we want to make sure that we're influencing others not only to our benefit, but to their benefit. Now, have you ever been curious if there's a better way to get you or your clients into a home? Do you envy those people that always seem to have all the smooth transactions, feeling that it's not fair that they always get the smooth ones and I don't? Well, to help with those needs, be sure to call the mortgage loan professionals here at Network Funding. Information will be in the end card of this video and in the description. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Like I said, from Network Funding, my name's Taylor Klein. And if you liked this video today, please be sure to leave a like on the video and leave a comment in the comments about what you liked most and what you felt was most helpful. You can also message me too. My DMs are open. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want more content, please be sure to watch my last video on cognitive biases and how they can help your influence on people, or watch my video before that on why stupid people think they know so much. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day.